Ding, ding.
The ding is weak. The ding is weak tonight. Greg, welcome back. We're so happy to have you. Thanks for
I'm
coming
so
back
happy to be
and
here.
dealing with us. In a few moments, we'll have Natalie join us.
Just getting ready for the show.
Sorry.
Just pouring myself a beverage.
Didn't mean to interrupt you there,
For
Josh.
those of you guys listening.
What are you pouring that beverage in? Why don't you just drink it out of the bottle?
Oh. Look what we have here.
Look at that. Why am I the only one without
And
one
this thing
every
holds
single week?
This thing holds so much.
It does. Like,
what is going on?
Comically,
large
amounts of liquid.
Large amounts of liquid, guys. You can get your own Anchor Watch merch because it's all about the tip with our little logo on shop.upandadamlive.com. It actually is great. I've gotten a lot of good feedback about them. Love our designer Nicole Steffs who did that for us. But guys, more importantly, welcome to Anchor Watch, our weekly below deck live chat where Josh, I, sometimes Greg, sometimes Natalie join and come together, take over Adam's channel and recap the #1 show on Bravo, Below Deck, which happens to be Below Deck Down Under right now. And before we get started, I have lots of Below Deck news, but I wanted to ask you guys, live chat as well, and don't forget to vote in the poll in the live chat. There's a good poll there. Were you shocked that we didn't get 2 episodes?
Yes.
I supposed to answer that?
Was that?
They've got us trained to watch 9 hours of Below Deck
every week.
Every week. I feel like there's at least 75 hours worth. And yeah, I was shocked. Like, wait, did we miss something?
Yeah, they're leaving the boat right now, one at a time. Are we
gonna do an hour off the boat? What's going on? But
no, that's the thing is we got to the last. Adam and I were watching it last night. We got to the last 15 minutes, and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way we can do a whole nother hour. Like it's crazy. Right. And all I had to do was look at the live, the TV guide, but definitely didn't do that. So
you're like flipping through your TV guide. Is that
you still
subscribe to that?
The paper, the black and white, where it shows you like where the movies are and the news and I have.
I'm glad you're still getting that.
Good. It doesn't really.
It's a great callback.
Not just that. Everyone is asking, are we going to see a reunion? There's no way we cannot have a reunion on this show. Now, we did have Captain Jason and Aisha on Watch What Happens Live last night. There's no way. And if we could possibly get Laura and Luke to call in so we can, everyone can yell at them at the same time.
Zoom from at least 500 feet away. I've seen no indication of it. A lot of people are saying, no reunion. Shocked there wasn't a reunion.
Listen, Below Deck Down Under did its duty and its due diligence on Peacock, okay? I feel like now we can give them some credit. Now being a Bravo Below Deck franchise, we need a reunion. So if they skip that, everyone's saying no. I haven't really looked into it, so I apologize for that, guys. But there needs to be, unless like someone said, someone said there is a mini reunion on Watch What Happens. Oh, live last night, but that's Aisha and Jason. So it was.
For a season that we held as like one of the most entertaining in a long time, it's like, well, leave it to Bravo to biff this one. It's like, here you had the opportunity to do a great, reunion for a season that everyone really enjoyed. I bet the ratings would have been great. And quite frankly, they had the whole second hour to fill. They could have given us a reunion on that second half.
Do you think it was a logistics thing? It feels like this is like a sought after crew and they all work. Like they keep getting jobs and keep getting to the next boat.
I'm thinking because they filmed it so long ago, people are so far from the show. Like kind of like you said, Greg, they're in other places in their lives. They're in other places doing other things. I don't think Joelle would have showed up. Of course, Luke and Laura, I don't think they would have showed up. And then now we're just down to like, the 4 wire people here. Yeah. So I
wonder too if we do have those strikes going on in Hollywood that maybe with the writer strikers and that would have been hard to pull. Who knows? There's probably a multitude of reasons. I do think that is the downside to filming these so far in advance. Because then it's like, yeah, do you want to come talk about something you did a year and a half ago?
I want to hear about it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do, but they don't, you know what I mean? They may not want to talk about it. So,
Well, Marie S in the live chat says there's no reunion. Sheffy said it on TikTok. So thank you, Chef Serena, for
So that's official.
putting that. I guess that's official. Correct me if I'm wrong. If someone can find out in the live chat, but I'm guessing from what we've heard, no. Guys, vote in the poll. Who did you think was the VIP this season? Before we get into that, I have a couple little below deck news things that I want to pick your guys' brains about. Okay. And so live chat, please, participate here too. So we got some really great news today that Captain Sandy is officially engaged conveniently a week before Below Deck Med. So that's awesome.
congratulations, Captain Sandy. Although
I'm golf clapping.
aren't we? Are we a little? I thought, you know what I mean. By now, I thought they would have. I thought they were already engaged. So
same. Like they've been together for a while. Leah, her partner, who is a singer and I think she's a beautician. I don't know what you call that, but someone who does like skincare and makeup and all kinds of stuff. Who runs a very successful business on her own. Also very successful and great singer, by the way. When I saw them interact at BravoCon last year, I was like, oh, you guys are definitely. I thought they were married. Yeah, like they were life partners, and apparently no, they took their time, and I'm happy for them. I hope maybe we get some kind of showcase with her relationship on Below Deck Med. We see every now and then she's on the phone with her or whatever, but I think it'd be great to see more of that. I really would. I do want to jump into this really quick because Adam shared this with me, and I want to kind of get your guys' thoughts. So I guess Aisha was on a podcast called Behind the Velvet Rope with David Yontif, and she kind of I don't want to say slammed Captain Lee a little bit, but let me share this with you guys right here. So by Wig Hello Drama on Instagram shared some things that have been coming out, and one of the things that Aisha said was, part of me is like he shouldn't have even started to come back for this season, referring to last season of Below Deck, where Captain Sandy took over because he's having a lot of trouble walking and he's getting old. And I feel like it's just better to leave on a high than crawling on. She also went to say something, and I'm paraphrasing here, that I'm sure he was upset and he left yelling and cursing because he had a younger female captain, referring to Captain Sandy coming to join. But this was Captain Lee's reply on his new podcast called Salty, which is in the top 50 right now, guys.
That the fact that a younger woman captain is coming in to take over, and she says, and I quote, "I just feel like it would have crushed his ego. Oof. I knew that walking off there, he would have been swearing under his breath."
I know you personally and would say you weren't swearing because a younger female was taking over. If anything, you would have been happy to hand it over to anybody who's capable, regardless of age or gender. And you were swearing because you didn't want to leave.
Yeah. Because we know he was swearing. He's always swearing. Like, to say that he's swearing is like, so he's talking. Okay.
Yeah. So he's just opening his mouth
breathing,
with some words. Yeah. Do you think this was malicious of Aisha to say, or did she have some kind of point there?
Look, I don't think
everyone's going to be careful right now on what they say about really Captain Lee.
I don't think he was particularly happy to be leaving. I don't think he was leaving by his choice necessarily. I think that's evidenced by the show that they gave him with her name escapes me right now. Jason, help me here.
Wait, with who?
Kate. With Kate.
Oh,
Kate, with Kate. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I think somewhere in the middle is probably the truth. You know what I mean? Like, and
we can maybe ask Captain Sean, because he'll be on a little later, about this, because I'm pretty sure that when they
Captain Sean in trouble now. Sean, will you say a weird comment?
We'll get Sean to do it. Yeah.
No, I think
Let me know about this.
I'm sure that he was swearing, but he seems like the kind of guy that is all about, if someone can do the job and do the job well, then good for them. And he probably wants a qualified person taking over. So I don't think he's like, it was big on younger
Yeah, my guess would be it wasn't about the person taking over. It's about he was being taken off.
Exactly.
If there was an issue,
Exactly.
But do you remember? I think we shared some of the tweets that were going back and forth between Captain Sandy, Captain Sandy's new fiance now, Leah, and Captain Lee, because he had a lot of things to say about Captain Sandy while the show was airing when he was live tweeting. So I don't know. There could be some animosity there. Not sure. Don't know. But something was brought to our attention, I think, when we were covering this season of Below Deck, when we had Jennifer Bennington on, who does a podcast with, or used to do a podcast with Adrian Gang on Below Deck. And she was saying that usually when they hire captains, they give them like multi-year contracts because they have to keep that position. So by not giving Lee, who was, I think maybe I'm speculating here, up for a renewal of his contract, they're not going to renew him for a multi-year contract when he has had health issues for 2 seasons. So the network is trying to save itself here. Production is trying to save itself from other things happening, even though Captain Lee is perfectly capable. But yeah, very interesting. Very
Who said
interesting.
That pissed on chicken? Oh, Carolyn. That's funny.
Carolyn
That's
said that.
straight out of his mouth.
Yes. Grab the wrong line. Here we go.
All right. So, guys, in the live chat, I asked everyone to go ahead and vote for a VIP this season. So if we could vote for a VIP, if you guys really think about it, one of the crew members this season who was a VIP on Below Deck Down Under Season 2, who would it be?
Brian brings up a really good point, by the way. Mr. Scott Patterson. Remember, this is still a reality TV show. So, yeah, I mean, whether or not he was mad and this and that and the other, it's all entertainment, right? So
all entertainment. And sometimes we forget that, especially people who talk about it a lot. And, you know, there are some, it's not everyone, but I see a lot of creators on like Instagram or TikTok, and they love to get just really, really angry at some of the talent for doing this or doing that. But really at the same time, they are laughing their ass to the bank. They're doing their job, which is to entertain us, no matter if it is a good thing or not such a good thing.
Well, I'll say this with the asterisk of, unless you're committing sexual assault, then everyone should be mad at you.
That. Yeah, that's borderline not entertainment. What covering
that is not entertainment. That's no. A crime. That's a crime. It's late. I guess
that's a crime. No, but I'm saying it's a crime for us to watch. It's very uncomfortable. Even covering that. Yeah. We had Bailey on.
Is everything else good? Yes, everything else is wonderful. When people are bickering and fighting and picking at each other, and she's too young and he's too old, and she's too this and he's too that, it's all gravy, right? We're having a good time.
And we never see the captains go at each other, so it's kind of fun to see them go in a little tweet war. You know, it's like,
it was interesting that they were going at each other pretty good. Mostly Captain Lee going at Captain Sandy.
I know, it was strange.
It was interesting, and then by the end of the season, it almost followed the arc of like the show, which again we had talked about. Is this kind of theatrical here, where they're
does that
kind of live tweeting with the you know, the emotion of the show? Because then by the end he was like, "I thank her so much, and it was so wonderful. She stepped in and helped as he was returning and stuff." So we're like,
right. We're doing this because, you know, sometimes they do live tweet, but they're, like you said, Josh, playing off of the emotion of the show, keeping the audience
because they know where it's going. They filmed it a year ago, so they know.
Yeah.
Hey, we fought this episode, but in 2 episodes we make up and we actually are the best of friends. Well, those tweets that week were like, "You bitch, blah blah." You know, like, okay, calm down.
So immature. All right. So Josh, Greg, who's your MVP for this season? I put a couple of choices there, but also we have the whole cast to choose from.
I felt limited.
Wait, no. You can comment, but let's see. So I give you the 4 choices.
I think we need people to comment, because I'm very curious, like, of the whole group, who is it? Like, and I don't know, maybe we can pick one of those comments to give them a prize or something.
Yeah.
I think Aisha was obviously a top talent. Sheffy won me over. My concern with her was kind of some of the relationship stuff that was going on. So I don't know if we're taking personal situations into account, like the whole story, right?
Yeah, I think someone who really delivered.
Who is your VIP?
and you know that I like Margot. I said that.
Okay, wait, are we going through the whole cast? Who is your VIP and why? I'm going crazy right now trying to figure out what you're getting at.
So we're listing off everyone who is not your VIP first.
Well,
third guest.
They're all there. can I consider Jamie? Can I put Jamie up for consideration?
Absolutely. What
I
are you
think she
talking-
came
of
on
course.
strong. She came to, get the job done. She took some punches. She rolled with it. She did make a mistake, but oh well, she came out on top. And I don't know. I think she's awesome. So that'll be my
Who
vote
didn't
for
come
now.
out on top was Culver from anything that
Wah,
Jamie.
wah. Even though his mom told him to take the high road.
Courtney here throwing shade. Sheffy's onion tower fell over. LOL. So I guess Courtney is disqualifying.
I guess it's not Serena.
I guess it's not Serena for
Courtney. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. It's between the live chat. Even says though it's between Captain Jason and Aisha. But Josh, I'm curious to get your thoughts on this.
So
let's start with
it is
all the people who are not.
So according to the poll, 47% say Aisha, 47% say Captain Jason. So literally the same. 2% Harry, 1% Joao. The correct answer is Captain Jason. And here's why. Here's why he's the MVP. Because he set the tone for this season. He set the level at which this crew was going to work. And he set the standard for this season, which he quickly expelled 3 team members and brought in new ones. Part of what defined this season was the exit of those people and the new people like Greg throwing out Jamie. She came because of him and because of his actions. I think if you step back and look at the season as a whole, the correct answer is Captain Jason.
I feel like we're in a debate class right now, and I didn't do my homework, and you came to the table with like just a very well prepared speech, which honestly I did consider Jason. So I just didn't. I always kind of like put the captain aside, but you're right.
And this one though, I think he particularly earned it.
He earned it.
Yeah. And I think because he did help. Like I said, he helped do things that defined this season.
Leadership, I mean, that's where it starts. Everything falls from the top. It falls from the leadership and the kind of boat he decided to run. I felt, though, like jumping into the episode, we had Serena, who was not very happy to do this teppanyaki night that these guests were asking for. Teppanyaki is where they cook in front of you at like a Benihana or one of those Japanese steakhouses, and they just do this stuff and do the exploding things and the onion volcanoes, and
flipping shrimp
into your mouth. And it just, at first I was like, wow, Serena is not really being a team player here, because she's worked on Yachts and I'm sure she's gotten a lot crazier requests before. So to do a teppanyaki night, it's like, is that really a big deal? Even though you're not trained in it, and I get it, you might have stage fright. It's not your thing. But at the same time, this is, in my experience, typical behavior of chefs who are fully capable, but they work themselves up in that negative vibe of I can't do this, to celebrate themselves when they actually follow through because they actually know they can't. I don't know.
It's an art thing. I think they're artists, and I think that they know their mediums, they know their outcomes, they know what they've been trained in, and they're getting something like that. It's a completely different style. It's a completely different medium that she has to work with. And so it's like, wait, you want me to try something out in front of people? Like, I feel for her. But
yes and no, because
I know we talked about this last week.
No, but I saw every other cast member step up and make asses of themselves at times for that tip.
True.
And all they're saying is, it's not even like they told her, hey, we don't need you in a string bikini doing squats or something. All we need you to do is come out here and fake it till you make it. And you know what? Sometimes the failure is as entertaining as the success. If you have the right attitude, trust me, as someone who has oftentimes played the lovable loser because I can't do some of the things I'm asked to do, I go ahead and I rush in head first and give it a try. And yep, I'm going to fail, spectacularly, but that sometimes wins people over. And
totally.
And what we saw with Serena, all that worrying, all that negative energy, just so much energy expelled being negative. And then the night of, the guest had a great time. Ended up, it was relaxing. She mostly just cooked. She tried a couple things and they were delighted that she tried. And They were just like, yeah, just try to throw the shrimp. You've never done it? Haha, let's do it. Like, let's just see if we can pull it off. They laughed. And then luckily, Captain Jason, our MVP, caught his shrimp and helped save her. Like, that was the perfect beat to end on. She got a big hug.
And to your point, Josh, the way that Captain Jason handled this, because like I put myself in his shoes, and if you're walking by and I'm saying, hey, are you going to do the onion volcano? And she's like, nope, not doing it. And, I would have probably gone in there and be like, you have no choice. You better do this. But instead, he was so diplomatic. He was so good about it. And he actually put himself, he really does, I think, have an empathetic side where he puts himself in everyone's shoes and where he might have been or where he was. I mean, he's been an engineer on boats. He's worked for captains before. And I just feel like he's taken the best of what he's seen and put it into what he does.
And he was stacking onions, so I give him.
Listen, he did it first. He showed her how to do it. It's like, just pour this in here, light it up. They don't care. After how many drinks they've had, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we all know this from life. Attitude is everything, right? Like,
yeah,
that some of the most charming people you meet aren't charming because they're the best at something. They're charming because of their attitude going into a situation. They're willing, and it's endearing to be able to make a fool of yourself in front of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And because, if like, I don't know, the people I admire most, I've seen them fail. I've seen them mess up. I've watched their process, and then that only makes them more captivating.
You've seen me fail a lot.
Josh and I have seen each other fail many times, so it's
and look, Jason admires me to this day, So.
Yeah, nice. All right, someone else who's kind of stepped up to the plate this season, who had a rough start, was definitely Margot. We had the whole situation with Luke and of course Laura earlier in the season, and then she kind of rebounded well with the support of Aisha, and then kind of fell back into, I'm drinking on the job. I'm not performing to my highest caliber, and then wanted this last chance to prove to herself, to prove to Aisha, to prove to Captain Jason that she can be on service, which ultimately pissed Jamie off because she was brought in to replace Laura, who was on service. But in the end, I thought it was a great decision. It was a good decision on Aisha, and she succeeded. So she received a lot of praise for her service skills. Did you guys think this was a good decision on Aisha? And do you think that Margot finished on a high? Because it feels like everyone finished on a high here.
Do you remember last episode of your show when I said that that's what I was looking forward to? The full arc?
The full arc.
I mean, I know I'm skipping to the end of this episode when Margot leaves, but Captain offers her a job. And I'm like, that's the stamp of approval right there.
But that's also, it's the stamp of approval, but at the same time, it's honestly like, this is an opportunity that you shouldn't say no to, because you wanted to prove yourself, and you have to start saying yes to these opportunities in order to grow. Like she was saying, in order to be her better self, if she wants to be in the industry, to have the captain that caught you drinking, giving you a second chance. I would have said, put me in, coach.
I have an answer about Margot.
She didn't she? She's going with him, isn't she?
No.
What?
No. She said that she's not ready to take some time to work on herself and be a better person. And
no.
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, that's where you lost me.
Real quick, I'm going to give my answer on whether or not I think it was good for Margot to do it. But before I do, I'm actually going to welcome to the show, now that our kids are put to bed, my wife Natalie to join us.
Hey, Natalie.
Hi, Natalie. Guys. I always love when you join us. So I'm glad you got the kids to bed.
I mean, as he was doing the intro, one of them is calling. So,
jeez,
get me out of here.
Okay. Do you have to run out real quick? Is he calling you?
Yeah, I have to go check.
Okay, I'll bring you back.
Great seeing you.
Nice seeing you.
It's been a great season,
Natalie. Yeah, great, thank you so much. I mean, really
okay, hurry back.
Wrapped it up in literally three words. It's been a great season.
Dang, we'll get Natalie back, guys, in a second. Because I told Jason, I was like, we need to have a woman's perspective on this season. No, what I was gonna say about Margot is like, I think there's kind of like, for me, there's two correct answers. Do I think it was good that she got this chance? in real life, I would say no, because Jamie was brought on to do that job, and I'd be like,
Sure.
she earned it. You will earn your stripes one day. You did get a chance. You messed up, but fortunately, everyone kept you around, and you still have the opportunity to learn on this ship. For television, yeah, it makes for good story. You know what I mean? Like, let her have that opportunity, let her have the arc and stuff. But yeah, if I was actually doing the job, we weren't filming below deck, I'd be like, what the hell? Like, I've earned this spot, you know. It'd be like the president of the United States letting the VP have it for one day, you know, just so they can, you know, practice. And it's like, no, you can earn it. So
That's not how it works. All right, so as we're moving on, the charter guest you finally leave. Not my favorite charter guest, but not like the worst ones we've seen this season. You know, there was that instance with Jamie in the dress, which kind of played on a little too long, I thought. But then Captain Jason at the end pays out of his own pocket for the dress because he wants to take one for the team. Did you feel that was at all like fair, or do you think this is just him again from the top being the leader and letting it trickle down?
that was a totally classy move, I'll tell you that. Like,
Absolutely.
and especially him as captain saying, I take responsibility for this, what happens on this ship. If it were me, if I were her, I would have went up to him later with a handful of cash out of my tips and go, hey, Captain Jason, I appreciate you. That was that you stepped up and did that for me.
Do you think he was doing it though, really quickly? Was he doing it because he was trying to win them over at the end, or to kind of cover Aisha's ass because she switched Margot and JB this last? So like, was he just trying to?
No, I just took it as a captain who's
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he just
from
stem to stern, is in control and makes things right. Hi, honey.
He had a missed opportunity. He could have like talked about the dress and said the name of it and maybe like pushed the brand and then made some money on the side.
I mean, there you go. Hello.
Now we're asking right now, real quick. What did you think of Captain Jason paying for the dress there at the end at the tips as they were leaving?
It was a classy move. I mean, yeah.
I think Jason was trying to insinuate something horrible or something. I don't know.
No. I'm just I'm like, are you covering for Aisha like with the crew? It's like
the cameras. No.
I mean, the envelope he put in, I mean, it could have been anything, right? So it could have just been like an envelope.
$20.
And let me take care of this.
Yeah, it's all one.
And then like before the cameras cut, Captain Jason brings on some orphans and just hugs each one and goes, I always hug orphans in every port.
I did wonder how much was in the envelope. Like, how much does he think she pays for dresses?
Well, I don't know. This, according to her, I don't know if it was her husband or her friend. It's like, this was from India and it's been worn everywhere. And now it has a nice iron print to it. I don't know. I don't know if it was even, it looked nice. I think someone does know the name of the brand. So anyone in the live chat, if you know.
Ooh.
Someone chatted it last time.
Cool.
And I looked it up. They range from like 900 to 2,000 from what I saw.
Oh, wow.
I ordered a couple. So
yeah, as blankets or just to wear around the house, or
just to check them out, see how I could steam them.
Wow,
with various steamers.
We do work from home now, so it helps to be comfortable.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Okay.
I
think maybe you guys covered this. Her response to Jamie versus her talking in the room, the guest.
Oh yeah,
that was very
elaborate
like
on that.
Oh,
Kind of explain that.
Do you think that was shared with Captain Jason at some point by one of the guests, and maybe we didn't see it on camera because it kind of felt like, people. I mean, we've seen mess ups go. We've seen holes being torn into dresses before, right? So, do you think it was brought up to Captain Jason, or that we just didn't see it on camera? That it was kind of a bigger deal.
Yeah, maybe so. Because
Aisha tells him everything. I'm sure she informed him.
Yeah.
She's like the stew I put in charge of laundry, who doesn't usually do laundry, ruined a dress. So
I didn't really think about that until you guys were talking about it. That Jamie shouldn't even have been on laundry.
I mean, though, you have to work your way through laundry to get to second stew. I would think you would know how to do it. Guys, we haven't asked at all yet, but listen, there's 245 in the room. Hit the like button for us. It helps us out tremendously. And the fact that we every week get to take over Adam's channel and just bibble babble about Below Deck is so much fun. And it helps us
Adam said if we don't get him a minimum amount, guys, he won't let us do the show anymore. So
we have to
hit
hit our minimum
1,000 likes by next week or we're toast. Okay, guys. So
Yeah.
no, Adam is super generous with letting us do this, guys. And so the likes just help in general, not only this show, but push Adam's channel in front of more eyeballs. So please, guys, it's like the easiest thing you can do. It's free. Just reach over, give a little tap.
Just give it a little,
Just tap it in.
just tap it in. Natalie, earlier we were talking about who is your MVP, right? So Josh said Captain Jason, Greg said everybody. Who would your
even went through last season's cast of Mediterranean, and
who would your MVP be this season out of anyone in the crew? You know, I was thinking of the ones who I would probably think of first of being at the top would of course be Captain Jason and Aisha, because I just feel like without their leadership this season, I don't think a lot of things would have gotten done. But then there were lots of other people who kind of brought some, I don't know, some joy and fun. Like I really appreciated Harry this season. I thought it was just a great energy, kind of like the male Aisha, you know, where everything is just so positive and happy that almost when he left, I was like, oh, wow. I'm going to miss you. And I hope you come back next season just to have that positivity.
Harry's fun.
Okay. Who's giving everyone MVP now, Jason?
yeah,
Yeah, he listed more than me.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I know. But Harry is my favorite.
I'm gonna give it to
I just
Aisha.
say I'm giving Aisha.
Yeah. She was just solid. She's just reliable in the crew with the guest scenarios, making decisions as a leader, and then in the after party, she's a lot of fun too.
She seems like a real person.
Yeah.
Which you don't always see on reality TV.
Yeah.
Right?
She's captivating.
You know what though? It's so crazy to see the turnaround she has had.
What do you mean?
I'm teasing, honey. I said it was Captain Jason, and that Aisha was the second best answer.
Oh god. Aisha has had a complete turnaround from being the chief stew in season 1. I mean, we have seen a complete turnaround. She's not allowing herself to be walked over by a chef, walked over by anybody else, walked over by Luke and Laura. You know, the way she works with Jason, I feel like the dynamic we have with Jason and Aisha is very similar, if not better. I want to say, I know, don't kill me, guys, than Lee and Kate. I would rather watch Captain Jason and Aisha sit on a couch talking about Bravo TV than watch Lee and Kate sit on a couch about Bravo TV. I'm not into it.
Words.
But I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. It's
just going
my
to help
opinion.
him put his contacts in. Like that just gives him a better excuse to be able to see for that duration of time.
Yeah, that's very true.
I kind of love that dynamic that they have, that they're comfortable enough with each other to one put the other's contacts on.
I don't even let my eye doctor do that. I don't even wear contacts anymore. But
I had to wear them for the show, and I'm not I don't wear contacts or glasses. So we know
my boss at work
my
every
eyes
morning.
are perfect.
My boss at work every morning. My boss at work every morning. I take in and out his retainer. We're that close.
He
That's
just doesn't
strange.
like poking his gums.
I get in there and just
Your
take
boss
it.
is young enough to where I thought you were gonna say like.
I have a paper route, Jason. Just
Okay, all right. I didn't.
Did you think dentures?
That's where I was going, but I don't want to be like ageist. Like I don't know how old your boss is. He could be very good and successful. Who knows? Guys, yes, hit that like button one more time. Okay, really quick. I'm happy to see the relationship that's been built between Aisha and Jason. We know for a fact that Aisha is going to be the chief stew in not this season of Below Deck Med, but the next season. The pictures are out. They're over. So I'm wondering if she is also going to stay as chief stew in the next season of Down Under, or if Toomey is going to move from Below Deck Med, which she's the chief stew of this season, over to Below Deck Down Under and go back to her roots. I'm not sure. That would change the dynamic completely with Jason. So
We have an Australian in the room. I just want to point out.
Ooh.
in this,
Hi, Cap.
uh-oh.
Good
I thought we
day.
got rid of all of them.
Hey, Kath.
Hey, Kath. Welcome from
Kath.
Queensland, Australia. It is the afternoon over in Australia. It is very late here. Okay, guys. So we watch at the end. Captain Jason takes us on this gorgeous cultural dinner and experience, which was
Okay.
beautiful, by the way. I thought we were
Yes.
going to Cirque du Soleil, right? Like,
It was
Did you
really
guys-
cool.
it was cool.
I said that it was a dinner where Survivor meets Avatar. Did
Oh
you
my
get that
gosh.
feeling?
I almost made a Survivor reference, but yeah, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, we
And
have our
then they-
Survivor team is here tonight.
Then
Yeah.
they bust out the didgeridoo, and I'm like, I'm in.
This
I
is,
am in.
this is what we're here for.
It was
Yeah.
very Survivor. Can you imagine it just like opened up and like they're on Survivor now? It's like,
Yeah.
Oh my
if you
Jeff
God.
want
walks
to,
in. Yeah.
if you don't want to do a
Like
new
tribal.
season, another charter season, that
For
quickly-
dinner, you'll all be eating goat testicles.
Oh my God.
Let's do this.
and walking back to the boat, which is now not in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quickly, drama unfolds. Right, it goes left really quickly, like every week with all our
Yes.
below deck crews. I'm not going to single out our below deck down under crew, but we have Joao is making like a fool of himself. The old Joao comes out for a minute. I agree with Serena for a second, even though Serena really holds his past against him like a little too hard, I think. But we
Mhm.
see the old Joao for a minute. He's going after
Yeah.
Margot.
Well,
He's
Natalie
really
and I noticed, like,
pushing
as
Culver.
soon as the evening began, he was throwing drinks back, and he was just nonstop throwing drinks back. Always had a glass in his hand.
They had a cooler in the van. Did you notice that? I mean, they were
Yes, I mean,
they
yeah,
were
revving.
yeah,
They were revving.
Yeah. tailgating to the
and
max,
he
yeah.
he set out going, I'm gonna get ripped. I mean, you could just tell.
Yeah.
But I don't know. In some ways, I still, look, I was really ready to not like him this season. I was not a fan of him before.
the same.
Kind of won me over. And I do have to say, I'm kind of on his side with this because Serena indicated she liked him, was willing to let him move forward. She hooks up with him. She starts flirting with him. Their first date out, she says he's faking. I'm like, where is this coming from, you crazy person? Like, why did you initiate and go have relations with him? I mean, like, what is going on? Like, and
It's almost like she flipped the script a bit.
yeah,
Right.
unfair.
It's like,
I thought it was completely unfair. I don't know how
Yeah.
others feel. I thought it was so unfair.
and to do that to after someone just did that to you, which we have seen from Culver before. Culver did this to Bertini in season 1 of Below Deck Down Under, and then this season, the new dangling carrot comes
Yeah,
in.
Jamie shows up.
Jamie shows up, and everyone's eyes are turning. I mean, mine did. I was like, "You're so cute. I want to be your friend."
And then Luca shows
Harry?
up and it's like, okay, that's the couple. That
That's the
couple is the hero of the show.
Finally, we've got a couple. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Again, guys, anytime you guys give these comments, they're going to go up on the screen. Thank you.
Absolutely, Josh has full control of the comments. So any compliments you want to leave him, leave him now.
I like Zarina a lot. And
Same.
what she said was definitely like rude and not like date night fodder, really. But she was also being honest. And I do feel like he took it a little hard. I mean,
Really?
I feel like-
really?
Wow.
No. I'm interested.
Girl
because-
code, huh? You stick it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, I want to hear.
Man,
Tell me more.
At the end of the day, she called him fake. Like, big deal. Like,
But
why?
I feel like she was waiting to say that to him. Like she wanted to say that. She
He
wanted
was a
to
raw
hold.
nerve.
And
But
he was
maybe not.
trying
I
to
don't-
have a romantic night. Like, it was started off all nice. I was like, oh, look at that. And they were like being mature. Like, we're going to go off on our own and do our own little date.
Hmm.
So you could take a poop on me? Like, I don't know.
A big poop.
Yeah.
I mean, she
A
said
massive-
a mistake. She didn't go on and
Can you
on
not
about
say
it until he asked her to. It definitely hurt his feelings, clearly. Like, it's something, I don't know. She was being honest. I feel like it's something he must know about himself already.
Okay, that's true.
And it just really,
Struck that
bothered
nerve.
yeah. Yeah, and he
I don't
wasn't
know.
expecting that kind of. He must have been expecting.
We've never seen from Joao, though, even on Below Deck Med, we've never seen such vulnerability as he had in his confessional, where he was just so upset about how he acted that last night. But I don't think,
Mhm.
just from watching it, from seeing it, I don't think he owed Serena any excuse of why he didn't want to like continue to be friends or whatever. Because it's like one moment she says one thing, and then the next she says that, and then she's upset that he's making out with Margot, but you're the one who said that you don't want it's casual, right? You put the label casual, and then you continue to insult him. So what do you think he's going to do? He's not going to like be your
it was
best
definitely
friend.
like not an easy pair at all. Like they were not in sync. Like it was an odd couple. I don't know.
You know who else was an odd couple? I have to say was Culver and Jamie. I'm just going to call that one out really quickly.
Why did Jamie say yes?
This is
Why did they go below deck?
girl. Yeah,
So
why
many
did you go
questions.
all the way down
Yeah.
below deck to the gas room or what are the engine? It's even
The
below
poison
that. It's
storage.
like yeah.
Where do we keep the buckets of poison? Oh, down there.
Yeah.
Down there. Let's go down
Bring
there.
your blanket.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, it's
let's go do
gross.
it in
Why
the
would she
dumpster.
allow that?
It
was like the
part
theme
of that is her fault.
Of this season was women being insecure and timid around men and just letting them do whatever instead of just putting their foot down and saying no.
Yeah, like Margot's 9-day separation from
Margot-
Harry because she didn't want to
Great
hurt his
point.
feelings. Jamie at the end of the show
Thank
going,
you.
I'm gonna leave with this guy and go on, I don't know, some kind of weird honky tonk camping trip he has planned because we don't have a gig. Like, what is going on? No. Like, ladies, you don't have to. Like,
Set a hard line. Boundaries.
here's another secret too.
Yeah.
Break their heart quickly and move on. They'll get over it. Yeah, I mean, you saw them making out with new girls the next night.
This is
the
6
same
weeks.
night.
So,
Yes,
so
that's the
6
other
weeks
thing.
of filming, guys. We say this all the time. 6 weeks of filming, and Culver is so butthurt that oh my gosh, Jamie, who's only been there for 2 of those 6 weeks, who is now your girlfriend.
Although I
maybe
will
have
play devil's
kissed
advocate,
Luca.
he does have a signed document legally. She is stuck with him.
It is
She
checked.
chose yes.
International law, international waters. I mean, does
And
it
there's a
count?
picture so they can be identified. That's smart.
Yeah. I don't know. I just it wasn't working for me. I don't know if I saw the best side of Culver. If you couldn't bring anyone back, could not. Give me some names of people you don't want to see back if we could.
Who would we
Of the
sacrifice?
Next season. Yeah, who
final
would we
cast?
sacrifice of this final cast? Yeah.
Okay. Because those decisions have already been made.
Yes, they have.
Who would not?
I'm not going to do a list.
You're not going to do a list.
Greg will name everyone.
Let's do our top 3 of people we don't want to see come back.
Oh, this is a mean one.
Joao.
Oh no, my God. I don't think we're going to see Joao again. I think he came back and had his redemption period on Below Deck. Even though I kind of really enjoyed him, like Josh said, but yeah, Joao.
I'm okay pitching out Jamie.
I was just gonna say that.
What did she bring other than she's a cute girl that 2 guys wanted to bang, but other than that, like she actually didn't bring like
only 2 guys.
Maybe a girl. We don't know.
Maybe a girl or 2.
Yeah.
Zarina, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
anyways,
she didn't. Other than that, she didn't. There was nothing super compelling about her or interesting, in my opinion.
Above Culver.
Ooh, I you know what? I was so disappointed last season when Culver kind of had the same. He kind of did the same thing.
Not paying for meals.
Not paying for meals. Like, yeah, girl, go home. When you're like, when everyone has taken care of the bill and you can't take care of like one bill.
And his one trick, they say he's the entertainment guy, but his quote unquote entertainment is always
entertainment.
Throw on a mullet and be a white trash guy. It's like, we get it, Joe Dirt. We've seen your bit enough. It's like, is that your thing you're gonna bring? No matter, it's like he always brings, what is he? Carrot Top of the Sea. I'm ready to pitch him. I'm ready to move on.
we watched the whole
not
season.
buff
I
enough.
still don't feel like I know who Culver is or what he's about at all.
No,
just-
no,
I
and
don't
we keep
care.
finding out more about Culver that I'm not really just enjoying. Like it's
And
like you
apparently
move on
he's
to the
not-
next best thing, like he does. Apparently,
Yeah.
he lives at home.
Doesn't have a good work ethic, according to Joao, which who knows what that means.
yeah.
but-
You know what I liked about Jamie? So I'm voting Culver to be the one to not come back. Sorry.
Okay.
Because Jamie was more entertaining in the confessionals. Because, yeah, she was throwing those barbs about her own boyfriend of 10 days.
I mean, listen, in Housewives, confessionals are half the show. Like, it's okay. You filmed the Housewives show, you've done it. Now you're coming back and you're doing
tell
all of
the
your
story.
your confessionals. And sometimes some housewives are really bad to watch on television, but amazing. You just want to get their reads. You want their confessionals. So yeah, I agree. Jamie was really good at
I'll
that.
be controversial
Really
and
good
say
at
I wouldn't have Captain Lee back to Down Under.
that.
There you go. I said it, guys. I know everyone was thinking of it, and but I had the guts to say it. I would not
We
have.
wanted a
Captain Lee
real
back.
reality show.
It's a
Let's
bold-
just throw Captain Lee in
bold statement.
randomly at different places at different times and see
Gosh.
how well it goes.
as like a stew or something, like as like a third deckhand.
As a chef.
Oh,
As a
wow.
chef.
Undercover
Yeah.
boss.
He's wearing a
Yeah.
skirt and it's never addressed.
I have to say, would I be lying if I said this was probably one of the best below deck like of the franchises we've seen in a long
great.
time? Like
No
this was
lies
so
told.
enjoyable to watch.
We
I'm
watched
actually
a lot of Below Deck. I think we
A
have the
lot.
right to say whether or not something was one of the best, and this was definitely one of the better. See, Natalie and I both enjoyed it. We
Yeah.
looked forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
It was really good. There was a lot of high points, a lot of low points. It was just a very interesting, like good dynamics with the whole cast. And
And originally everyone was complaining about the yacht, being like this old vessel that was turned into a yacht. It was a commercial vessel and
Yeah.
whatever. But I feel like the yacht took
That's
minor
what
focus.
The room
It
down under is.
really it really took like a minor focus that stepped back, and then we really got to see a lot of drama and a lot of chaos, but a lot of great, like you said, highs and lows of the cast, and I thought that was much needed this season. So,
And for those of you guys wondering, how could I tip this crew? Hit that like button.
Ding, ding, ding.
There we go. Dingy dingy.
Let's
who
get
I would bring back?
13,700 likes. That's
Yes.
the amount that each crew person took home
yeah.
over the season. That's
So
And
that's
this
our goal.
crew this season took home 164,000, which I think one of the top. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. If you're part of the replay crew, I believe one of the highest tip outs of the season was 165 on Below Deck Med. I think,
And 30
competing.
cents, I
and
think.
33 cents, Josh.
Yeah. Oh,
like if you're gonna
there we
say
go.
it, get it right. All right.
So
Like
I was
people
going to say
in the
I would
50s
bring
at the
back
penny.
Adam. Oh, someone's saying that in the
Oh,
comments.
someone did
Let's-
just say that. Yeah. Okay.
What?
Hey,
Yeah.
we didn't
You
get to
asked
see
who
enough.
we
of
would
him.
not bring back. I would bring back Adam.
Yeah,
think
I
he
enjoyed him actually. Yeah, agreed.
deserves another chance.
And he didn't take it.
Another chance to crash something, or
Yeah, he had a little bit of a rough go. I had forgotten because so much else happened this season that when the first episode or two, it was very much about like how he had studied this and he was such a stickler for the rules. Because then, mid season, he kept messing up, and I was like, wait, this is the same guy. But
you
overall,
just told us. Yeah.
Yeah. his
Your
personality.
experience.
Yeah, I know. It was very like, oh, I guess this is not one of those things you can just learn by studying. You have to like go do it. Yeah.
It's crazy that you even brought that up, Natalie, because we saw like the Tinder crash against the rails, and we saw the boat run into the side, and we saw all of these things, and you almost forgot about it because there so many other things happen. There was not one boring episode. And I remember watching Below Deck Med last season and covering it. And I think Josh, you and I talked about this like off the camera a little bit. We're like, wow, this one is a 3. And then the next episode was like, holy crap. And then it was like 2 episodes of nothing. But I feel
Those
like
are
we got
the
a
2 episodes you
consistent.
brought me on last season.
Absolutely, we needed something, Greg. We needed help.
Just like
we
talk about this garbage.
We talk about this shit.
Where's Greg?
Yeah.
Where's Greg?
Speaking of dumpster fire, where's Greg?
Yeah.
Let's get
Where's
him on.
Greg?
Bring the garbage man.
Greg, Natalie, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you guys so much, but we'll let you go. We're going to bring on Captain Sean to answer some questions. And Greg, you have to come back. You have to come
Absolute
back. I've
pleasure.
enjoyed having you. And Natalie, you have to come back. I know you're more busy than all of us. So whenever you can make it, we'd love to have you.
I do love the show and I love chatting about it. So happy to come.
Nice. All right. Well, take that energy into Below Deck Med.
Well, but by the way, Below Deck Med, do we start up next week? Do we have
start
any
up?
break?
We have no break. We start up next week.
My God.
Full force. Remember, we have 80,000 episodes and how many hours of Below Deck?
I heard they're actually going to be releasing 3 episodes a night next season.
There is Below Deck Coastline, Below Deck South America, Below Deck South Africa, Below Deck India, Below Deck no, but I'm just saying it just feels like we're constantly getting them. But you know what's happening
Below Deck Lake Michigan. That's
Lake
Below Deck Under. It's a submarine show. It's gonna be wild.
Oh Lord, let's not go into the submarines.
Oh yeah, that was too soon. Sorry. Didn't even think about the Titanic.
No, but this show Below Deck has been the top rated show on Bravo, consistently beating the Housewives shows. I think the only thing it didn't really beat this year was Vanderpump Rules because of the whole Scandival situation, right? And now we have all of these franchises, but they're maintaining their ratings. People are interested. So that's great to see. If you guys, I want to give a shout out. I always give a shout out to TV Deets, who also runs a great Twitter and Instagram handle, TV Deets and Below Deck Sailing. If you ever want to go find out some really great Below Deck news, he's usually got it. So definitely check that out. And Greg, and Natalie.
Just breaking news. First episode of Mediterranean. Captain Lee is fired.
Okay, I'm out. Goodbye.
The boat sinks.
Lord have mercy.
Great. You guys, it was a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us.
Anyway.
Okay, what a night. That was a great, like every time we get on here, we're like, there's not that much. We can get through this fast. We always have a great conversation. But more importantly, we do have our special guest tonight.
Live from Monaco.
And we'll find out what's happening in Monaco. Let's bring on Captain Sean. We have our very own captain. Good evening.
Live from Monaco.
It's always a beautiful shot there. Every time you're on from there. What a town, huh?
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and ask you really quick, Sean, how many countries have you been in while you've been live streaming on Anchor Watch?
Oh God.
I couldn't even tell you. Jeez.
I don't even know.
Yeah. I mean, off the top of my head, probably, at least 5, but we've had Sean checking. We've had him on trips where he checked in multiple points during his trip, like while he on one trip. So yeah, Sean's been everywhere. He's our Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll be doing some Anchor Watch live from Thailand this winter. So there you go.
Hopefully we'll be doing some Anchor Watch on a yacht.
Yes.
That would be that would be fun.
That'd be fun.
Well, Jason, you got to get over here. You guys got to get over here to Monaco.
Hey, it's my dream.
You can tell Natalie. Can you watch the kids for a little while? I'll be right back.
Watch the kids while I go over to Monaco for like a week, to go on some yachts and drink champagne and eat some caviar.
Captain Sean, real quick, what type of things happen, especially for captains in Monaco this week? Like why do people go? What's going on? Tell us a little bit about it.
So, all right. So right now, the reason I'm here in Monaco is for the Monaco Boat Show. It happens at the end of every September, every year. It's the world's premier event for yachting, especially large yachts. The Fort Lauderdale Boat Show is the biggest yacht show in the world, and you'll see a lot of the same boats here that will then cross the Atlantic and go over there. But the Monaco Boat Show is special. First of all, the ticket just to get in is, I believe, between 600 and 1,500 euros per day That's for one ticket. Just to
And
get
is
in.
that just like a basic, like, let me walk around ticket? Or
That just gets you in the door. That's
Oh.
none of the parties, none of the VIP events, nothing.
Cute,
So,
cute.
So there's that. The it's all the posh, the glam. Everybody's here. All the big boat manufacturers. For captains that are in the show, that means the boats have to be just decked out to the umpteenth power, because you're in competition with the best in the business here at this show.
And I assume every yacht has a big inflatable slide off of it.
Every single one. The slides everywhere.
Hey, Sean, quick question for you. Is this where I would see the mega super yachts and stuff? Is that where they're showing off like the nicest, fanciest?
Yeah, so if you're a company like FedShip, which is one of the world's premier yacht manufacturers, you're going to see brand new coming out of the factory. Well, coming out of the factory makes them sound like they're coming off an assembly line. They coming out of the shipyard, you'll see the best that all the big manufacturers have to offer, and that's Lursen, Ocean Co., San Lorenzo, Benetti. They're all on show, right? All on show here. Now, some of the yachts that are coming out of the yard are so big that the only dock that they can fit on is, where is it? Oh, the cruise ship is going behind me, but there's a cruise ship dock. But that's only one dock, so you'll have a lot of the really big boys that'll be out at anchor. And I'll be taking films of when this whole harbor fills up. It's really impressive. It looks like we're getting ready for an invasion. So we'll a yacht and storming the beach with like champagne and caviar.
Yeah. Every warrior's in a
My
tug.
kind of party.
yeah.
Sean, I know you had some questions, and we had a few as well. And by the way, I know for sure Captain Sandy is there. If you run into her, you have to tell her congratulations for everyone at Anchor Watch for getting engaged.
I will. If I run into Sandy, I will definitely say, Captain Sean, can you be my sugar daddy?
You'll have to fight me for the spot first. Okay. Hey, here's actually, this is Captain Sean. This is great. It's super relevant. So, this is a great question because it just happened. There was a guest on the most recent episode who the stew, I think you heard us saying she messed up the dress by hitting it with an iron. Captain Jason gave some cash at the end out of his own money to pay for it. Your thoughts on that?
I actually had to do that. We and that's a relatively common occurrence. Chief stews are some of the best people when it comes to dealing with laundry out of anyone, because they've messed up some really expensive clothings, and stuff like this can be really disastrous. We had a charter here. Actually, it was right here in Monaco, where my stewardess ruined a polo shirt from the principal, and I said, which was odd. She was really good at laundry. She spilled bleach on it, and I said, she goes, "Oh, anything happened?" She's like, "Yeah, we wrecked a polo shirt, but it's no big deal. It's some brand I've never heard of." And I said, "What's the brand?" And she goes, "Starts with a K." I'm like, "It's not Ketone, is it?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's the one." I was like, it's like a $700 polo shirt.
No, geez.
So I had to go. They didn't have it. The only Ketone, they didn't have one here in Monaco. Anyway,
where did they have these?
Prada, and get them a $400 polo to replace that polo. But I did actually pay for that one out of my own pocket.
So that is an occurrence that happens.
Oh yeah.
Okay, right.
I gotta give, like, if we're talking MVPs and stuff and out of the show and I really, some of the reasons I don't watch the show because it makes me freaking mental, but I got to admit, Jason's been, that bar none, is my below deck MVP. He's got a lot of great. I think he really cares about the crew. He runs a good crew. And the situations that I've seen him deal with, he and I would have dealt with it exactly the same way. And to penalize your least paid employee for doing that, which they didn't mean to do that. It's not like a malicious thing. I would cut her some slack on that. Also, too, captains always have a secret slush fund for just such. That's
kind of something I don't know if we've talked about before, if we've asked before. Is there kind of like a do the owners give them some?
No, it's not the owners. This is like
It's just the captains, like just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, you're like, so give you a perfect example. Let's say we got a $10,000 tip, but to divide it up evenly, say there was like $300 left so it didn't divide evenly. So I'd take the $300 and I'd throw that like in a cup. And then, so when I go out, I'd buy drinks for the crew and stuff like that. Or if your dress gets messed up, it comes out of the cup, so. And so we don't have to kick in too much for it. But yeah, that's we've had some. Yeah, I've seen dresses destroyed, some really, really expensive stuff. And normally, if the chief stews will, even if there's a new girl in the laundry, they'll go down there and be like, look through stuff, or they'll ask the people, is this dress special? And then we will choose whether or not to launder it or not. And sometimes it's it's one of the nicest people that we ever had on board. It was like we asked her if is there anything that special about your dresses, and she's like, I don't know, does Gap make dresses that are special? And she was one of the richest women I knew, and she didn't wear like a lot of fancy clothes or stuff. She was really down to earth. She didn't care. And then there's other women that are on board that will be decked out in Versace to the nines, and if air gets on their clothes, it'll rust because it's got
that just sounds so uncomfortable to me. Like I feel like if I was like a Jeff Bezos or something, or and I had this like mega yacht, I would just be wearing sweats or like a swimsuit and a blanket, and that would be it for me. That'd be it for me. Captain Sean, I know you have some questions, so I'm really curious to know what those are.
Well, that was one of the questions that was from Norma, and then the other one, and then the other one was from one of our kind of drawn a freaking blank. Elaine was from.
Oh,
Elaine.
yeah, Armand, yeah.
And so she said when the guests are on board, and we book like dive trips for them or anything special that's outside of the boat, do we book that stuff in advance, and is it part of the package, or do they pay to play? And we do it basically when they come on board, they get a thing called an APA, which is an advanced provisioning allowance. And out of that comes dive trips, come helicopters, come you name it. So yeah, 100%, anything that's additional that's not on board the boat, they do pay to play. And if we do have to get a rain date or whatever, or any cancellation fees, that's on them.
Oh, wow. And, okay.
Yeah.
So they really do pay to.
They really do. Now, maybe now with the below deck does a little bit differently. The charters are so short that they'll have pre-planned activities and planned activities too. Pre-planned activities out for them.
You would think for a production standpoint, like you want that to happen on the episode.
Yeah, it's a totally different schedule.
Yeah. So it would stink if they like, oh, this would be a great shot. Let's make sure we make the scuba diving trip happen.
Well, that was one of the things when they were talking, and production was asking me about Australia. I said to them, I go, the one thing that you're going to have to do is up your underwater game, because they didn't really have any underwater photography. The only underwater photography that they took was stuff that I did. And they literally strapped a GoPro to me and I went underneath the boat. That's glad we're doing high tech here.
Sean, I have a question that actually one of our subscribers brought up earlier, Brian. And we've talked a lot about this, just you and I, and on the show too here. But how many LGBTQ captains, such as Sandy, who are at her level, how many are there? I bet only a handful. So the Twitter beef could that was with something else. But really, how many people who represent?
How many will admit to it, or how many are? I mean, I don't know. I mean, with the real number and what will admit the number, probably two different things. But I've known a couple of gay captains in my time. The one famous boat, there was a guy, he was a gay owner. He had a 120-foot boat, and he blew through a ton of captains and crew.
Nope.
And the no one's touching that one anyway. The anyway, so he eventually found this captain and mate combo, and they were a couple. And he said to them, he said, "Look," and this is going back probably 15 years ago. He goes, "I'm going to pay you $250,000 a year to run my boat." And to his partner, he said, as mate, he goes, "I'm going to pay you $150,000 a year.
Whoa.
Every year, you can pick out whatever cars you want. I will lease you a brand new car every year. I want the boat available in Miami during these months, and I want it available in New England during those months." And they ran probably one of the best organizations and best crewed boats I've ever seen. It was, I mean, they're really great guys, and they ran a great operation, and they were with that owner. I think they eventually sold the boat, but I mean, after that, they had enough money to retire. They had homes, they had all sorts of stuff. That owner really gave them a lot of great opportunities. So there's those guys. And then there's
Captain Crunch. I mean, look at that jacket. Hello. Liberace of the
Fabulous.
Liberace of the sea. Yeah. So anyway, that was probably the more famous, or the guys that I know. There's Sandy. Then there's and again, it's like I don't know. I don't know of anybody that's like blatantly out of the closet or
Captain Elton John
is waving that flag. I don't know, but there definitely are.
What about okay? So I think you mentioned this at one of the Captain Crunch. I'm still on that. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello. No, you've mentioned before that there was a captain. I believe he's on Starship now, which used to be the old. Why am I blanking? From Below Deck. Starship.
Renamed Starship. Captain Sean, which one was that?
My Sienna.
Yeah,
My Sienna. Thank you. From Below Deck. When we were on that, you said that the captain, he like runs this great program, and they take him. Do captains take their program, whatever that entails, and their crew to other ships as well?
Or, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, is it their way of doing things that is the program that just works for charter after charter?
Steve Marcia, who runs the Starship program, is a legend. He started off with the smaller Starship, and he killed it on board that boat. So when that boat got sold, part of the reason the other Starship sold was because of Steve. And then when My Sienna was sold to this guy that owned Starship, he 100% brought Steve on board that boat. And he brought all his own people over there. He brings all his own clients. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I'm putting together, a little hint, the show that like we're working on about going pole to pole. Stuff like that's actually, that's actually coming together. And quick for 2024, we'll be filming on that. And I will put together a
You're
dream
such children, Josh.
I will.
Sorry.
Well, he was just talking about gay captains. Now he's saying about going pole to pole.
Can the captains hook up with the crew? RLF Productions is anyway.
Was that a question, or did you?
That was a question.
Okay. Is that I'm sure that many owners or many programs would not appreciate that, with the leadership. But I mean, what the captain's hooking up with their crew, but that is something that happens. That's not
absolutely. We were on again. My Sienna was the captain. Excuse me, the captain. The Freud was right. No, the owner was adamant that it was a singles boat. It wasn't a couple's boat, because what happens is that crew hook up, then get into a fight, and we wound up having to fire two people, or we lose one, or they go off and go on to another boat. I never tried to get into my crew's personal lives. Everyone's responsible. If they want to hook up, that's fine. If they're gonna not be nice about it, then. And if it becomes my problem, I will make it their problem. And
How about this, Captain Sean? Next time you sail out to international waters, you marry the whole crew, so they're stuck together,
like Mormons,
but more. And they're
What do you
all
mean more?
married. They're all married, and so then you don't have to worry about anything. It's just one family. Tell me that wouldn't be creepy for any guest who came on
I mean,
board.
that would be a new kind of television show.
that's a new would be below deck Mormon adventure.
Mormon
Below
Adventures.
deck Salt Lake.
How long can this boat stay afloat in the middle of Salt Lake? Brian has one more question. I have one more question for you, Sean, before we let you go. We know it's late there. We've been running an hour, but I think you've answered this before. Is it normal to fire multiple yacht crew in a charter season, or is that just a reality TV
It's
casting
not
issue?
normal, but if the team's not working, if stuff's not working out, or someone does something incredibly stupid, then yeah, I mean, like again, like back to my my catchphrase. It's like I'm not very good at cracking the whip, but I'm excellent swinging an axe. And yeah, so if we need to move some dead wood to get in the fresh blood to make things happen, yeah, we'll make it happen.
I mean, it happens. It happens. The unexpected happens on the high seas. Sean, we're wishing you the best at the Monaco Boat Show.
Yes.
Thank you so much
for, first of all, giving us this gift of your background. And I'm just envious that I can't be there with you. I know we both are, but enjoy the time. Keep us updated. If you guys want to follow Captain Sean and his adventures, you can head over to his social media on Instagram. It's Excitement Factory. And Sean, you've got to post. You've got to post to make us jealous, please.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be start hammering the post pretty soon. Thank you all, everyone in the chat as always. Love you all, gentlemen. Live from Monaco. We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Have a great night. Bye, Sean. All right. Well, that's another season, Josh.
Another season. We're wrapping it up.
Below Deck that we're wrapping up. How many seasons?
I don't know. I think we're on our 75th. So, and we're going right into another one next week.
Okay, so we started Anchor Watch close to Halloween. Is it 2 years ago now?
We're almost at our 2-year mark.
The 2-year anniversary of Anchor Watch. There's that many Anchor Watches on Up and Adam's channel.
Yes. Don't say we don't cover it, guys. Actually, there's a couple we've not covered because that when they were doing the whole Peacock thing and Bravo at the same time.
We didn't do Down Under the first season.
Yeah,
because it was really difficult. Sometimes it's really difficult to jump from week to week, but I think overall, I want to say we've only missed like 5 or 6 episodes out of those 2 years. It's like a week or two. Incredible. That we take off for whatever. So we're always here to talk some Below Deck. So definitely join us next week as we embark on our next journey of Below Deck Med.
I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I think I'm looking forward to Captain Sandy back. There's some crew members that we know that are coming back. We know this for sure now. It's been confirmed. It was on the commercial, but we told you about it about a year ago.
We did tell you Toomey was coming back, or was coming a year ago today. Yeah.
So we're excited. It'll be great. I love spending time with you guys. Replay crew, you're just as much a part of this show. Leave comments. I try to go in and answer. Jason goes in and answers. Greg sometimes goes in and answers. Captain Sean goes in and answers. So ask questions there. Tell us what you thought. Roast us in there if you thought our comments were stupid. It's all in good fun. Looking forward to another season.
I can't wait. It's exciting. Josh, thanks again. And mods, subscribers, chat, thank you guys. Always keeping it respectful and amazing. Hit that like button on your way out. We still have about 260 in the room. So guys, thank you for joining us tonight. And we will see you all next week. Have a good night, guys.